public toilets and I piss on the seat. I walk around in the summertime saying, how about this heat? I'm an asshole. He's an asshole. I'm an asshole.
Welcome back to another edition of The Asshole's Perspective. I know it's been a big gap in between my videos, a lot more than I intended, but I had shit to do, like sit on my ass and watch videos, not making them. Well, I finally got the ambition to do so, and this is what I've told you about before, the new rating system. This is, from now on, I'm going to rate topics after I rant on them as a 1 to 10 scale. Instead of using scale, I'm using examples instead of numbers, because it's a lot easier to get a point across, and I get to hiddenly bitch about stuff without actually making a video on them. So I was going to start by doing a scale of stupidity, and then I was going to do a scale of annoyance. I was going to do both. But then I just kind of put them together, and you should be able to tell which is which. You know, they kind of match together very well. So, number 1 being the lowest amount of annoyance and stupidity, and the highest being the highest amount of annoyance and stupidity. So, I'm going to explain the scale and how it works. Okay, it's going to start off pretty simple for, the number 1, of course, being the smartest. We have Thomas Edison. Then you have Stephen Hawking. And then you got David Cross, stand-up comedian, very intelligent stand-up comedian, and a big fuck you to Larry the Cable Guy. And then, just for sheer awesomeness, I put him on the scale, Bob Saget. And also, that's, pretty much self-explanatory. Next, we have the forgotten Space Ghost. You gotta admit, this guy was fucking awesome, and he was pretty bright on him. Okay, that was it for the, the decent, the good half. Those, if you're on this part of the half, you're not doing too bad. But don't expect me to actually put much people on here, because if it wasn't shitty, I wouldn't be doing a video on it. So now, next on the scale, Sanjaya fans. Yeah, I know there's probably many people bitching about this loser before. He can't sing, he can't perform, he's just a little pretty face. And apparently he's gone. I don't even watch American Idol. I haven't watched it since, the second episode of the first season, and I still hate this douchebag. And, this girl right here apparently represents most of his fans. Stupid teenage girls. So, he is, this is the barrier. If you break the Sanjaya barrier, you're not doing so well. Next on the list, the whole state of Tennessee. I'm sorry. I hate Tennessee. I hate the people of Tennessee. I hate the subculture of Tennessee. I hate anything Tennessee. It spawns Hicks. It spawns the Confederate flag. It's a piece of shit town. I've been there once. The accents made me almost commit suicide. The only good thing to come out of Tennessee is TNA wrestling. Next, pop culture guy. Okay, I'm going to explain this more. Pop culture guy. He is that douchebag that who tells all the recycled jokes that you've heard a million times on every late night TV show and every joke. He just makes jokes about every recycled pop culture joke. The same old, Christy Alley is fat. Paris Hilton's a whore. All those stupid, Kevin Federline's poor. Star Jones is fat. You know what I'm talking about. The guy who will say the same old joke that you've heard a billion times before in every magazine and every late night show, and it's not even funny at this point. If you laugh at it, you're probably stupider than he is. So, now we only have 2 left. I've already gone through 8. So, what's the second most annoying thing in the world? These 2 giggly cunts with no respect for whatsoever anybody. That's right, the Simple Life cunts. I think that's their names. I don't really know their names. I just go from cunt 1, cunt 2. Anyway, one is a whore, the other's anorexic, and they're both annoying. I've seen an episode of their show. They're walking around asking people for money, doing all this shit, have no respect for anybody. They act like they're the queens of the fucking world just because they're rich and their daddies will pay for it. So, these guys suck ass. I cannot stand them, and I can't stand people talking about them, and I'm sick of seeing their fucking faces. Who, by the way, aren't even that cute of faces. Very overrated. I hate Paris Hilton. Yes, I do know her name. And I'm going to quote Dennis Leary here of why Paris Hilton sucks. She can't act, she can't model, and judging by those videos, she can't fuck. On to the highest form of stupidity and annoyance. This I could not pick. There are two things that have to be on top. And this is kind of what separated the annoyance and stupidity scales, but I put them all together, and I couldn't get rid of either one of these. So what I'm going to do, if somebody hits this high of a number, I am going to just alternate. So, the first thing, Dane Cook. The most annoying, overrated piece of shit of a comedian ever. He is a commercial. He's a commercial for stand-up comedy. He's someone that the media pampered into being popular. They put his face all over it to the point that nobody knew any stand-up comedy. They knew Dane Cook, and and the fact that he has a pretty face makes him all the more marketable. And that makes people believe that he's funny, even though not one thing he says is funny. He doesn't even do punchlines. I once seen him on a Comedy Central special walking around for about 6 minutes making the noises of the alien from the movie Alien, and people were giving him a little oh god, I feel so bad for him, but let's just laugh so he doesn't get hurt. And yet 3 years later, he is the hottest name in stand-up comedy. Makes absolutely no sense, because I follow stand-up comedy. I know stand-up comedy. This guy is a douchebag. Nothing he says is funny. And, I actually have an old Dane Cook rant, so I might actually push that up just for this part. Next, which is actually not next, it's the same level, and that is this douchebag. Do you know who he is? This is the average idiot that will laugh every time he hears or sees the number 420. They look at a clock, they see it's 420. It's 420 because I smoke pot, and that's like the pot number, and that it's funny. And don't you think it's funny, man? I'm gonna go eat some glass. Yeah, these are probably the most annoying people ever, which I think is probably the average Dane Cook fan is made up of this kind of crowd. Okay, sure, if you're gonna do pot, smoke pot, but if you're gonna laugh like an idiot every time you hear a fucking number, then you should go and drink a bowl of glass. Yeah, that's right, I said drink a bowl of glass. Chug it all at once and scrape the insides of your throat until you bleed to death, because these people need to be stopped. And if you're going to be such an idiot, please stay away from the outside world. Just sit in your room, smoke your bowls, read your High Times magazine, and watch Dave Chappelle. But just any idiot that sits around laughs like an idiot because of a fucking number. God, I don't even know what to say anymore. Anybody who doesn't get annoyed by this is probably one of them. So, there you have it. This is my scale. As you see it, I will rate people on this. Instead of 1 to 10, I will rate my rants with these examples. And I think I'm going to do a video right after I'm done with this, so you're going to get a good gist of how it works. This has been the Asshole's Fuck me in the ass. This has been the Asshole's Perspective. I'm out.